Welcome to WhatintheShibal with Soogia and Ed.
We're just two Asian Americans talking shit about shit.
On a bi-weekly schedule.
How you guys been? Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Nice to see you again.
Hi.
Boy,
That's a loaded question.
It's been a whirlwind of a week. 2 weeks. Hi, Ed. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Nope, that's not how we were supposed to do that, remember? Just don't ask me how I am. I'm not ready for that yet. How are you? How was your 2 weeks?
It was a...
Oh, did you ever go on that blind date that we talked about?
No. So because of the fires, it was postponed, but it's now in 2 days.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So like, I scheduled a haircut for tomorrow.
Great.
Because we all know I have that weird thing where my hair grows out and it just makes my face look plumpy. Fat face hair.
My fat face do.
I didn't know Ron had a name for it already.
Ron? Is that what you call it behind
in your head this whole time? No, I'm just kidding. It happens to Ron too.
Because that Asian hair just sticks straight out,
Yeah,
right?
but it doesn't happen to everyone.
No.
Where like then it makes their face look chunky. Guys, Archie just got a new bully stick. I'm just scared for my life. He's skinning it.
Very Buffalo Bill of him. Oh my God.
Very creepy.
But
in fact, I think we have some footage from right before we started.
I think he's taking the skin and saving it because he's not eating it. He's like putting it somewhere.
Even creepier. Oh my God. What have I raised?
He's going to make like a mask.
Oh my God. What have I raised? What have I raised?
Oh, what a shock. You're raising a little psychopath.
Oh.
Little nut job.
But yeah, so that's in 2 days.
That's fun.
Yeah,
excited. We were really nervous the last time we talked. Are you
less
nervous or more nervous now? Now that there's so much anticipation.
No, I feel like at this point I've just been like so beaten down by life in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that I'm just like, breath of fresh air, maybe?
Change of pace, man. Fuck.
But also in my head, I'm like, don't talk about the fire. Don't talk about the fire. Don't talk about politics. Don't talk about anything. Don't talk about
that. What else is there right now?
Well, what do you like? Do you know how to ride a bike? I don't know. But yeah, I just initially they canceled it because I wasn't like in a fire evacuation warning for the last 2 weeks, and then I've been like living with suitcases by the door.
Yeah. And
like 3 days ago, I was going to be like, oh, I think can I finally unpack and live normally again? And then they were like, oh.
Red flag warnings are back in effect.
They're like 80 to 100-mile-an-hour winds again. They're like, the conditions are going to be exactly the same as the 8th. And I was like,
cool. Awesome.
Yep. So still living in suitcases by the door.
Yeah.
That's been fun. But yeah, other than that,
everything else fucking sucks too.
Yeah. It's like back to wearing a mask everywhere. Yeah. The dogs, I haven't even taken them for walks.
You can't.
Because I'm like, I get even nervous letting them out in the backyard and they start sniffing the ground. I'm like, stop sniffing the ground.
Yeah, I know.
Stop sniffing the ground.
I know. What can you do?
Yeah. So now,
I mean, you're going to have to. I was telling Ed before we even started, like, I don't know how this is going to go for me because the last 2 weeks have been pretty fucking traumatizing. So if you feel like you don't want to watch me just kind of implode, maybe scroll away now. But I don't know if I will. I will see. I don't know.
Because if you're wondering why we even have a new couch, like all of that is connected.
It's all connected. It's all connected. Yeah. Okay, so how am I? I don't know. I feel like I have to go back to literally roll back exactly 2 weeks.
Yeah. Because that was crazy how that happened.
Yeah. So we had just finished up recording 2 weeks ago's podcast, and my mom calls me, and she's on her way from Palm Springs home, and she's like, "Hey, I heard that there were fires, and I heard that they were getting pretty bad." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I've been in the garage with Ed for the last 3 hours. I don't know what's been going on." So I turn on the news and I pick up my phone and I'm scrolling through and I was like, oh yeah, there are fires and there's, it looks like it's growing. But I don't know. I can't really tell. And in the span of, I think 45 minutes that I'd been speaking to her, the fire had grown exponentially and was now kind of like moving all over the place. And there were then now 2 fires. I mean, the fires were just growing. Like I can't even like wrap my head around. Like it almost feels like when I look back on it, it was just like flashes of like visuals of like fire. And she's like, I don't know, can we go home? And I was like, I don't know. So I checked and I was like, no, your guys' house is in a mandatory evacuation zone. So why don't you just come here? I'm sure the fire will be put out. Now, mind you, again, she wasn't at home. So there was no get your important paperwork, get the family heirlooms, get the clothes that you want. There was nothing. So my mom and my dad literally...
Thankfully, no pets.
No pets. My parents had the clothes on their backs, one change of clothes, pajamas, and their toothbrushes. And like, that was it. To this day, 2 weeks later, that's still pretty much all they have. But so we were like, okay, what do we do? Come over. We were watching the news. And from there, it felt like I just watched the news for like 100 hours straight. Like, I don't feel like I ever, like, I don't remember like picking my head up from the news. And as we were watching the news, we watched as places that we love and places that I grew up in just burned to the ground. And the fires were so huge and so massive. It was something like, and I've lived in LA my whole life. My whole life I've lived here. So fires are not something that I'm not unaccustomed to. And I think that's why this has been such a strange, like, circumstance, is because we aren't used to that. No, we are used to that. But the magnitude of what has happened, I think I still haven't wrapped my head around. So quite literally, the town that I lived in my whole life is gone. And when I say gone, I don't mean like, I mean, it is gone. The schools I went to are gone. The parks I went to are gone. The places and coffee shops I went to are gone. The restaurants are gone. Literally, I think as of right now, I know about 40, maybe 50 families who have lost their homes, like personally, like friends in my life, like people that I know and love. I know people who have lost multi-generations of homes, like their grandparents' homes, their parents, their homes, and, their, other siblings' homes are all gone. 4 or 5 houses per family in some cases. Every single person that I know that I've grown up with the exception, I think, of like 3 people, gone. And I don't think the full magnitude of what I've experienced has yet hit me. I honestly don't know that I feel like I've just kind of dissociated and I've been in denial a little bit, and I've been busying myself with so many other things that I don't know that I've actually kind of connected it to my life yet. But my parents have been out of their house for 2 weeks, and will be out of their house for the foreseeable future. The house, as we know it right now, is still standing. We know that there has been fire damage. The houses next door to them are completely gone.
All of them.
All of them are gone.
Surrounding houses are all, yeah.
Like, it was still smoldering. We had a friend able to go up and look. They said the house is there, but like literally almost nothing else is. And I have friends who have gone into these places like illegally, but this is our hometown. This is our town. And they've just sent us videos of like, I can't even, like, you can't even scale it, like what it looks like. Like, I saw like an aerial view of it, and it's like flat. It is like just gone. And it's really a trip. And I've been like, I feel like I've just been holding it all in because I have to be strong right now. I have to be strong because, and there's like so many feelings, right? Like, part of me is like, this is a tragedy and it's devastating, but like, it could have been so much worse for you. Your parents' house is still standing, so you can't feel bad. You can't feel as bad as everybody else, but it's like, but it feels so bad. It all feels so bad. And like, I don't know how to like, so like, my friends are calling me and I'm like not taking their calls because I'm like, I don't know how to talk to them about like what's happening. I don't know how to say like, I'm so sorry that like, obviously, like I take a minute and I pick up the phone and it's just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that everything is gone. I'm so sorry for you. And I'm so sorry for me. And I'm so sorry for my parents and my sisters. And like, the community is a really tight-knit community where I come from. And like, we are all so close, and my parents have lived in that house for 47 years. So it's not like, I don't know.
It's like their life.
It's our whole lives. Yeah. Every memory that I have as a child to now is gone. Every place that I made memories is gone. And that is, you can't even like call it sad. You know what I mean? Like, it is devastating. It has devastated my life, but I like don't feel like I've gone into like the acceptance phase yet because I haven't seen it with my own eyes. And I am honestly terrified to see it with my own eyes. I don't know what that experience is going to be like. And like, I worry about my parents so much. Like, I worry about them anyway. But like, they're in their my mother's in her late 70s. My dad is in his 80s. Like, what are they going to do now? We don't even know if they can live in their house. And if they can, what are they going to be living in? They're going to just live among the ruins of their life? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, you can't live there. There's no water. There's no power.
I don't think they can live there. Just the amount of soot, asbestos and stuff that is probably kicked inside.
And like, this is such a weird thing for me to say, but like this happening in simultaneously with the TikTok ban, I know it's going to sound really, really weird, but I feel like 2 places that I live are gone. You know what I mean? 2 places that I inhabit are gone.
It's not ridiculous. Those are safe places that you felt safe. Your home and the community.
Right. And like, I feel like the community that I actually physically live in and the community that I created, even though it's like back, it doesn't feel the same. Everything feels kind of tainted and it feels burned. So like everything feels burned. And like, I don't know how to like get that back. And I don't know how to like reconcile any of it because it's all like so uncertain. And that's another thing too, is like this layer of just like uncertainty. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know. And like, that's driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy that I don't have an answer for anyone or anything. But I'm fine.
Yeah, but
I'm fine. I'm okay.
But you don't have to be though. And I understand how you can probably feel like that in everyday life, but like, you don't have to be strong for anyone here.
I know.
You need to sit. It's okay to feel.
I'm afraid. I'm honestly afraid of it. I'm afraid of it. Like the feelings are so big. They're so big that I don't know that I've ever like had this be like this kind of loss. I have never really experienced that, and I'm afraid of it. I really am afraid of it. So I just kind of keep running away from it. And I think maybe having the TikTok ban and the fire thing happening at the same time was the best thing that happened to me for the 2 worst things that could be happening to me, because I kind of keep distracting myself between the 2. I can never really focus any one thing. I can't put 100%.
I think psychologists would say that it's not a good thing.
Maybe, because eventually one of them is going to come to a head, right? One way or the other. But I've just been like distracting myself, but I don't have a choice. Like these 2 realities are living at the same time. I can't just pretend like the fires didn't happen. I can't pretend like the TikTok thing isn't happening. Like these 2 things are happening at the same time. So I'm like, I'm distributing my focus, but I'm trying, and I'm not doing a great job. Like my older daughter was talking to my husband. My husband came to me. He's like, she's worried about you. And she's like, Mom, it just seems so sad. And I am sad. I'm so sad.
It's okay. I mean, I'm sorry. That sounds stupid.
There's just, it's happening.
It's okay to feel sad. Is what I mean.
I'm so like scared and I'm heartbroken and I don't know how to like face it. It's so heavy. But, I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. I have to keep going. I have to continue. I have to keep going. I have to do what I have to do because it's not just about me. There are a lot of people that rely on me to do a lot of things. And I have to be strong. And maybe that's what kind of helps me and keeps me going. Is that like, I know that like, there's more to it than just my feelings. But it's okay to have my feelings too. And I know that as well.
But also showing your feelings doesn't mean you're not strong.
No.
Sharing your feelings, and I feel like you do that. So, I mean, I don't know, but I'm assuming you probably had conversations like this with your daughters too,
of course.
Right? Yeah. So,
of course. And I said, I'm not feeling anything that isn't normal.
Yeah.
It is normal for me to feel sad. It's normal for me to feel lost. It's normal for me to just not know what to do. I don't know what to do all the time. And I think that, humanizing yourself to your children and to, the people that you love and just reminding them like, I'm going to be sad. Why wouldn't I be sad? It's a sad thing. It's tremendously heavy. It's so heavy. But, being somebody who has lived in LA her whole life, to see just like the community like really coming together and really fighting for each other has really been heartening.
I think that's like the only thing that anyone can do in a situation like this is to keep going.
Right.
I don't think a lot of people understand or give themselves credit for the amount of courage it takes to do that. Because it's easy to just sit and lay in it, right?
Right.
And it's easy. I think it's easier to just allow it to overwhelm you. And I think there's a lot of strength that it takes for people to be able to just get up,
right,
and keep going. And I feel like that's the best we can do. And just like you said, that's what we've been doing as a community. And it's been like really. I mean, obviously it's tragic, but there has been like a amazing thing to be able to see the community come together.
Oh yeah. I've been to community centers. I've been to the shelters. I've been making donations. I've donated my time. I have collected so many. I mean, I've never seen so many tampons and pads in my life. I just said, I need pads and tampons. And I was like, oh my God, it's like 1 million tampons. I was like, you can have as many periods as you want. And to see that people like really want to help. And like, I've had friends in like my community who are like, hey, how are your parents? I have somebody who specializes in this aspect of, what they're going to be going through. If you need help, let me know. And so many of my friends are just like, what do you need? And it's like, it's so wonderful. It's so wonderful to know that I have so many people from all parts of my life. People even just like work acquaintances who are like, hey, I remember you saying your parents lived in this area. Like, are they okay? Is everything okay? It's nice. But, what do you do? You got to just keep going, and you just have to keep reminding yourself that like, you're there for you, you're there for them, and they're there for you. And it's all we can do. It's all we can do. And, I think maybe that's also why like losing TikTok for me at this time was also really difficult. It was just like, I need to like talk to my community about my other community and have them, be there for me and for them, and to have lost access for that, for that little bit of time, was scary. It was really scary. And I still feel that way. I don't know that it'll ever be the same, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I am okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
You don't have to be.
I know. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I didn't let myself. I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go like full, just like bawling. I was like, oh, I'm getting close. No. I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
No.
I guess that is something like a privilege I never really thought about, is not having anyone depending on me, where I could just cry in my house if I wanted to.
Yeah. I don't have that. I have elderly, and then I think that's part of being in the generation that I'm in. Being at the tail end of Gen X is like, I still have my elderly parents to have to contend with and deal with and help. And then I have my children who need me, obviously. And now more than ever, it's like, I have to really, I've been with my parents literally every single day since this happened for the last 2 weeks, every single day, and my dad has had a lot of back pain. And so I'm like, don't touch anything. I'll do it. Like, I'm just a mile away. Let me come over. I'll do that. And then I have to run and go get the kids at school. And so my busy life has just become exponentially busier, but I'm happy to do it. I am more than happy to do it because, maybe that's part of kind of my identity, is like feeling needed. That sense of purpose, that drive, it's important for me. I need it. I need it.
I think people have different ways of coping, for sure.
Yeah.
And I feel like many of us feel the need to feel
needed.
Yeah, because like there's so many things, because like the fire, the TikTok, all of those things are out of our control.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like whenever people feel out of control, those are the feelings that come. You just feel like you're helpless, you can't do anything, and you feel taken advantage of. So, we got to do what we can focus on, helping other people, helping your parents, doing those things helps us feel not like less like victims, you know?
Right. Well, also, yeah, exactly. That's another thing too, is like, I just need to just be motivated to just not just help, you know, my family, but other people. And I didn't mention this earlier, but we found out, so during the fire, obviously it was mayhem, I'm sure. I can't even imagine. And when we got we haven't been to the house, we saw photos of the house, and you can see that the entirety surrounding my parents' house, all of the trees, all the bushes, the foliage, the flowers, the ivy, everything is burned. Everything is burned. It is black. And some of their windows, you know, exploded because of the heat. I'm guessing. Yeah, there's like shattered glass all over. Like, you know, like the kitchen side.
Wait, your parents' house?
Yeah, my parents' house.
Oh, so everything inside is tainted.
They have double pane glass, so we can't tell from the photos if it broke through or if it was just the outside, so we don't know. But I was like, why do the trees look like that? Because they have these like weeping willow birch tree. I don't even know what kind of tree it is. But you can tell, we looked at like all of the trunks and they're all cut at an angle. So you can tell that somebody was there. Somebody was there, cut down all the trees and the foliage away from my parents' house and pulled it to the center of the street so that if they caught fire, it wouldn't touch the house. So whoever it was saved my parents' house. I don't know who it was.
Why is that making me want to cry?
I don't know. It makes me want to cry too. And we don't know. And I don't think it was the firefighters because there were no firefighters. The firefighters were so like spread out. So I think somebody in our neighborhood, like, I don't know if it was our neighbor or somebody that just worked in the neighborhood, somebody for some reason and somehow saved my parents' house. And it's like, I feel so lucky and I feel so fortunate that somebody was able to do that. Like probably like knew that my parents were like elderly people and like needed, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to create some narrative in my mind, but somewhere, somebody for some reason saved my parents' house. And like, I feel this like passionate need to put that back into the universe and help people. So that's why I was so adamant to collect things and go donate and help and do whatever I could, because that I don't want to ever take that for granted. You know, knowing that somebody was there while everything was burning around them, for some reason saved my parents. I don't know why. And I don't want to say like it's because we're blessed. I don't want to say that, but for some reason, that's what happened. And like, I don't want to just take that for granted. And I want to make sure that whoever it was, like, how do you thank somebody for that?
That's funny because you were like, when that happened, I wanted to pass it on in my head. I was like, I want to find who that person was.
I want to find them. How will I ever know? I mean, I probably could find them. I don't know. And if I do, like, how do you thank somebody for that? I don't know. You know, and if it was like somebody in the neighborhood and then like they lost their house, like, I don't even know. I don't want to speculate because if I speculate, I'll spiral. But, you know, there are so many forces for good. And I just want to be one of those. I just want to be.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's all we can do, you know, even, even with us, it's like during the fires, the air was so bad. Even like this morning, I just took a photo of it on my phone that we're using to record right now. But, you know, we might be able to put it up here. But there was a piece of a burnt book that was next to my car this morning. Like that just happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we had, like when I let the dogs out, I still see like burnt leaves all over our backyard and like burnt like pieces of foil. And I try to like pick them up with gloves on because I'm terrified. And throw everything away. And, you know, I just, I'm even trying to like get masks for the dogs because I'm like so paranoid.
Can you put a mask
There, I found a company that makes masks for like.
But dogs have such different snoots.
Yeah. I think there's like different sizes. So like I'm
like lengths. Like do you put it behind their little dog ears?
I don't really know. I'm like in the process of reaching out to them to see if we can like figure something out because like they're $100 each.
Archie can't wear the same mask as like it's cold. Yeah, no. It would be like a basket.
Yeah, but like even with them, I even haven't been like so nervous to let them out of the house. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you don't have to go to the bathroom right now. You can wait another hour so we can combine it with afternoon pee and evening pee. We don't need to go out right now. And like, I was like so nervous and I like basically was a hermit in my house. And I was like watching videos of people going to volunteer and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I want to do that. But I'm like so
paralyzed with fear.
Scared. Yeah. Because like, this is where it starts. Every time I let the dogs out, immediately my mind starts going, I swear to God, if in 10 years, because they sniff this ground, if little Archie gets fucking cancer, I was like, I'm going to kill people. I was like, I'm going to kill people. And like that fear then, you know, goes into me and I'm like, oh my God, what am I drinking? You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, like the second day cause you know, we have the Korean filtered water system thing.
So do we, yeah.
And that started tasting funny.
Are you sure that wasn't just your brain?
Well, that's the thing is like, we're also towards the tail end of needing it to be serviced for the new filters. And you know how sometimes it starts to taste a little weird towards that?
Like metallic-y.
Yeah. So it was getting that metallic-y flavor. So like I started getting paranoid. I was like, oh my God, is it from the filter needing to be changed or is it because of water contaminants?
Just get your filter changed. You'll feel so much better.
The other thing that happened was 2 days ago, I saw someone post, someone who lives about a mile or two more inland than me, like away from the fires. And they were like, so I got a water tester and the water here in this area is significantly over polluted. Like they tested it. So I was like, oh my God, if your water's polluted, then I fucking knew my water's polluted. So like, I've been freaking out. I've been spiraling a lot. So I've been doing what I can control is like make content. But I also started to feel like, I was like, man, I feel like shit. I was like, I feel like shit.
Like physically like shit?
No, well, I did that too. I also threw out my back and had gout during that time as well. So
fucking life, man.
Physically, yes. Physically, yes. Also, but luckily I was able to, you know, I fixed my back within like 4 or 5 days. I think the gout is almost gone. It's been like today's the 4th day. Kimchi. I think it's kimchi.
The probiotics?
No. Literally, I was like, because I was like, when my mom was here, sorry, super tangent. I promise we're going to get back to it. But when my mom was here, there were times like, cause you know, she was here for Thanksgiving, Christmas and New Year's and we like ate meat during that time. My mom didn't, but like, you know, holiday, we ate Peking duck. I went out with my friends to get Cape barbecue a bunch of times and I didn't even have like an inkling of gout. So I was like, what's the difference? I was like, oh, right. I was eating with my mom every day. I was like, was I drinking more water? I was like, I don't think any more than normal. I started thinking, I was like, oh, right. We ate kimchi every day. And I was like, I know people are always like probiotics, kimchi. And I was like, gout does start with your stomach and your gut. So I was like, maybe there's a tie. So I looked it up and apparently there are studies. It's published in the National Health, the government. Sorry.
Hello?
The National Library of Medicine.
Government.
Which is through the government. It's just government entity. And they published a study that said that there is a direct link to a specific strain of probiotics.
Yes. That makes a lot of sense.
That does help with lowering, not only helps with like getting rid of the uric acid, it actually converts the uric acid. But apparently there's some studies that also show that it will help with flare-ups.
What is it converted into?
Whatever your body is supposed to convert it into. Yeah. Well, like normally your body will convert it into something,
right?
You know, probably to glucose or whatever, because everything converts to glucose. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But for me, my body is producing so much uric acid, it can't process all of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I tried it. I literally, for the last 4 days, have been eating kimchi for breakfast, drinking kimchi juice, and just like eating kimchi for lunch. And then for dinner, I would have like
Thank
whatever.
God you're wearing a mask everywhere. You stink.
I literally said that for the first video. I was like, thank God everyone's wearing a mask. Cause I was like, my breath is potent right now.
Everybody. That's so funny.
So, yeah. And then like, there was even a day in between 2 days ago when I made 8 videos and posted it, because there was so much misinformation floating around after TikTok was reinstated. You know, people were like, Shochu took CEO of TikTok off his profile and like, oh no, the servers changed. So I was
There's nothing Ed hates more than misinformation. I mean, you want to get this guy fucking fired up about something, say something that's not true and tell other people about it.
I will literally start
so fucking mad. He calls me and he's like, oh my God, I'm gonna kill somebody. I'm like, just kill them already, then. Just do it. I don't care.
Yes, I literally was like,
going on.
Hours had been going on. And I was like, is no one disproving any of this? So I just was like, well, I guess this is my day.
Fine, I'll do it.
And then people were like, after I made the one video, they were like, well, but what about this? And I was like, no one disproved that either. I'm like, great. So it ended up being 8 videos. It took all day, but by the end of the day, I think it was roughly around 11 p.m. And I had finally gotten around. And when I say it was Ron. Ron finally went around because I got gout, not because I ate meat, but because I got so paranoid from the water that I stopped drinking water for 2 days. But I had coconut waters, so I thought I was drinking enough coconut waters to overcompensate for it, but apparently, clearly not. So finally I was like, hey, Ron, I probably should have gone yesterday when I could still walk, but I was like, I can't bend my leg to drive. I was like, can you please?
You couldn't bend your leg to drive?
Yeah, because it gathered in my knee this time.
So bad.
So unless it was like this, if I went like this, it started to hurt, and I couldn't put on socks. Like I had to like put it on a stick and try to put it on. And whenever I like took off my pants, I would literally have to like use a stick to try to get it through the leg.
No, that
it was horrible. So I had to call Ron. I was like, I know you're all the way over at Angela's
Take off
house.
my socks and get me some water.
Like, but can you please go to Costco and get me water? I was like, I think I'm dying. I was like, also Colt ran out of food. So I was like, we're both dying over here.
He's starving. I got acid everywhere. I don't know what's going on.
So Saint Ron, drove from
Ron, can you hear me through the kimchi in my mouth?
Yeah, drove from Culver and helped me out. And but either way, I had those gallon jugs.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to drink one of these a day. So I was like looking around for it at 11, and I was like, where is it? And I was like, oh my God, it's still in bed. Because I've been putting it in my bed so I could drink it in the middle of the night to make sure I'm staying hydrated like 24/7. And I was like, that means I haven't drank a drop of water since 7 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And even then the next day, the gout was less.
Really?
So I 100% am attributing it to the kimchi.
I could see that. I could totally see that.
So what was the tangent?
Volunteering. And you feel like a piece of shit.
Yes, thank you. So,
oh no, you said you felt bad. Yeah. I just threw in the piece of shit.
I did. I felt shitty. I felt like a piece of shit because I was like in there and I was like so worried about everything else, which was warranted. That was warranted. But also I was just like, looking around and I was like, yes, it's annoying to live out of bags, but I was like, I have my house. Yeah. I was like, I have my dogs, and like nothing broke me more. Yes,
don't talk about the dogs and the animals.
People losing their homes and their lives obviously was devastating. But like,
don't do it.
Animals are helpless. You know what I mean? And you know how passionate I am about vulnerable people. So
stop it.
I like spent a whole day crying about how I was like, I have my dogs, and then I was like, well, what can I do to help? I was on social media trying to figure out what I can do. And I saw this post where someone was like, these places need new clothes. They were like, yes, we're getting a lot of donations for clothes, but a lot of them are used. They're not washed. They're like, we need new clothes. And I read through the comments and someone was like, yeah, I survived through Katrina. And they were like, getting just a stack of new shirts and pants
changes everything.
They were like, it changed everything. They're like, it made me feel like I wasn't just like some like lost person. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I had some sense of normalcy back, and then I'm worthy, like worth anything, and stuff. So I was like, all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I'm such a fucking idiot. I was like, for the last 3 days, I've been like so concerned about myself that I didn't even notice the most obvious thing in front of my face. And I was like, when we closed our business, because it happened out of the blue, kind of, we had a surplus of inventory.
Did you save me? Sorry, go on.
And I was like, we've been trying to get rid of it because obviously we spent a lot of money on making that clothes. So I was like, we were like, we need to figure out a way. And, we were talking to some websites and stuff that were maybe thinking about taking it to offload it and stuff. But I was like, you know what? I was like, fuck it. I was like, it's already been like 2 years. I was like, sure, that money could really help me right now. But I was like, but I have a home.
Yeah.
I was like, I have so much more than a lot of people right now. So I called up Ron and I was like, hey, what are you doing today? And he's like, I was, going to do this and that. I was like, cool. I was like, so we need to donate all of our inventory. I was like, so can you come up right now and help me get all this inventory, and we're going to go take it over right now? So we gathered like all the clothes that we can get, especially the winter clothes, like hoodies, sweatpants, sweatshirts, and stuff like that. And we donated it. We took all of it over and we donated it. And they were so busy when we got there.
Oh my God.
There were piles out there.
Which one did you go to?
We went to the one in Burbank. And so we went there and like people were asking questions and you could see the volunteers being like, yeah, just put it down, just put it down. And I was like, you guys are I was like, this clothes are still going to go to people, right? And the guy started being like, yeah, we're going to sort through it. And as he was saying, he started looking up at me and I was carrying a box that was open and it was clear that it was brand new of the same exact clothes, the whole box. And immediately his tone changed, his face lit up because he saw that it was new clothes and he was like, oh, that's definitely going to go to the people who need it. Yeah. He was like, thank you.
Well, a lot of people just bringing their like, not garbage, but like,
I heard there was like soiled underwear.
Yeah, like this is not a landfill. Like I know are you trying to help or you're just trying to clean out your closet? Like go put that in the dump or, whatever. And then bring what you can that you think somebody wear. They said like, if it's not something that you wouldn't give your best friend, don't donate it.
Or if you're not going to be excited to get it, like.
Right. But the real question is, did you at least save me one XL hoodie? Please tell me you saved me at least one hoodie. Okay.
And some people were like, oh yeah, at the very least you can get like a tax write-off. And I'm like, I didn't do it for that. And two, in order to get a tax write-off, typically when you donate, you have to get paperwork back. Yeah. So you can prove to the IRS that you donated it. No, I didn't even care to do that because that was not my motivation. You know what I mean? And like, I only recorded it because I was like, I got the inspiration to help other people from watching these videos. And that was like my only reason for making that.
I went to, where was it? I went to the one in West LA and then I went to one in Pasadena. I can't remember which one it was. And they're like, we have more volunteers than we do people who need. I was like, okay. Yeah, I can go home. That's fine.
Actually, you know what the video that inspired me was? It's going to sound so ridiculous, but did you see that video of that guy who donated his whole collection of Squishmallows?
I heard something about the Squishmallow guy and then I heard something about another incident with Squishmallows and I don't know if it's the same guy. But the guy with the surplus of Squishmallows supposedly was like, oh, I'm going to go out and look for all these rare Squishmallows. And he would find them in these stores. But it turned out he was actually just ordering them and then would plant them in the store to make it look like he found them for clout or for whatever. This happened when TikTok was ending and people were saying like their confessions of what they had done.
Oh, and this person confessed that?
Yeah. So I don't know if it's the same person. So again, I don't want to misinform anybody.
But the donations wasn't tainted.
Yes, the donations were the donations. Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Either way, it was one of those videos where I was like, wait, because he showed himself going to storage. And I was like, wait.
Oh, right. Yeah.
We have clothes in storage. And that's when the dots started. Because then the next video after that was like, we need new clothes, please, if you can.
Please stop bringing me your dirty underwear with holes in it.
No, because they literally like, we're not taking clothes anymore. They're like, unless it's new clothes. They're like, we actually really need new clothes. So those two dots connected immediately.
Yeah. To be somebody who's lost everything in a fire and then to be like, oh, cool, just stained, dirty clothes. Like, cool, thanks. Like, no, absolutely not.
No, because...
Good. You did a good thing. You did a great thing.
So, yeah, all that to say, and then from that video, I got comments from people being like, yeah, we're in Texas right now and we're getting together a U-Haul of all this donated stuff to bring over. And I was like, I'm going to cry.
Yeah. There's been a lot of crying. It's okay. But
But speaking of, only because you brought it up, not to tangent over right away, but that trend of people, what the dumb fuck was that?
I will say this. I am so glad I've never done anything like that. Like I've never lied.
Stupid. Oh.
I've never lied. I've never endorsed a product that I myself don't actually use. I can say that I've never done that.
People have accused you of it, but I will say from someone who knows her, has been in her house, she has not lied about any of the stuff that she sold on TikTok. And those vacuums, she has like 5 or 6 of them, and that's not even an exaggeration. I remember being like, where did this pink one come from? Where did this purple one come from? I was like, what is happening?
I really love vacuums, and they send them to me, and then I gave one to my dad. I have one at the store. I have them everywhere. But like all the makeup products, all the hair products, I use all of them. I use everything.
And she buys and uses so much more stuff that she doesn't. Like that Sleepy Time mushroom stuff.
Yeah, that stuff is
she hasn't even sold it. She drinks it every night to go to bed. I'll talk to her on the phone. She's like, sorry, I just drank my Sleepy Time mushroom tea and I'm going to pass out in 30 minutes.
I was like, you got 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Go.
Literally.
One eye's already closed.
Literally.
Hold on. Never mind. This one hit me quick.
Literally.
Yeah, no, for real. So I'm like so glad. And I tell my daughter this. I'm like, if you never lie, you never have to remember anything, because the truth is just the truth. You don't ever have to backtrack. You never have to be like, oh, I don't, like you never have to do that. So when the people were coming out, like that one girl, that Asian girl who eats all that food and says that, like, I just have a really high metabolism, and she admitted that she doesn't eat all the food. I was like, oh my God, like you fucking liar.
But the crazy part is that like...
But like TikTok is gone, but like the rest of the world still exists, stupid.
And just because they're deleting it doesn't mean that while you posted that video, someone didn't save it and post it everywhere. Like, I don't...
And you also exist on Instagram or YouTube or like whatever else.
In real life.
Yes. And in real life. Like, why? And like, that's my whole thing is like, if you're going to build a community on these lies, like that girl who wore like 30 pumps of makeup or whatever, it's like, yeah, we know she's not going out in public with 30 pumps of makeup. So maybe that's on us for like believing it. But like a girl who would like make these, like she made like ice cubes, like really fancy ice cubes. And she's like, I never use those ice cubes. Or this girl would be like, oh, I made all these coffee drinks. I don't drink coffee. It's like, because it's all lies. And then
that's
that
crazy.
Makes us look bad.
That would be like if I made coffee content, because I don't drink coffee. Like, but why would you do that? That would make me feel like such a fraud.
I couldn't do it. And also, like I said, like having to go back and like remember, like, oh, did I ever say that? Did I ever say this? Like, no, I don't need that kind of stress in my life. I don't want to ever feel like I need to remember what lie I told to whom, and no, that is, look, how do you live like that?
Lies,
oh my God.
Lies are like building a house of cards.
Yeah.
The more you lay on, the likelier it is that it's going to all come crumbling down.
And I don't know if these people are suffering the consequences of like this coming clean, but it's like,
I don't even understand the logic of it.
But then I'm like, well, are some of these people lying about lying? Like, are they just joking? Like I obviously did do, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Now I don't know what to believe,
But then I would feel like if I did that, I would end it with be like, or in the caption be like, this is a joke, guys. Right. Or like hashtag joke.
I was like, I'm actually Japanese. People be like, what? Yeah, I was seeing, yeah, right.
Dang it. I should have used the fucking lie that I used to tell ignorant people at Starbucks. I one time had this... She's preparing herself for how asinine
I'm ready to be so disappointed in you, Ed.
I used to tell ignorant people at Starbucks who would ask me anything about being Asian or whatever. I'd be like, oh, I'm not Asian. And they'd be like, what do you mean? I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm white. In fact, my whole family's like, we're like Jewish. And they'd be like, what are you talking about? I'd be like, okay, cool. So do you know Michael Jackson? They're like, yeah. So like, I was like, so you can get plastic surgery to get stuff? I was like, you can literally bleach your skin. So I was like, you're telling me I can't just get a little eye surgery and dye my hair black and you just think I'm Asian? And they were like, nah. And then,
so basically you're Ollie London is what you're saying.
No, I lied about being Ollie London. But the one time I fooled this guy so much that like a couple hours later, he brought his whole family and he literally points at me from the middle of Starbucks and he just goes, it's that guy. And I was like,
I have to go to sleep now.
But just like you said, when you're like, I'm Japanese, what if I was like, I'm not even Asian? That would have been hysterical. I wish I thought of that.
Well, you have your chance. TikTok is back. I guess it's dirty and tainted and... I'm going to take my sleepy time tea right now.
Oh, good old. Are
you guys enjoying this episode? What else were we going to talk about?
What else is there to even talk about? My brain is glitching.
I feel like at the top of the episode, we're like, there's so much to talk about. And now I'm like, I don't want to talk about this. Oh,
we didn't talk anything about politics. God damn it.
So okay, so while TikTok was shut down for us for like that 12 or 14 hours or whatever, do you know like what was happening like behind our backs? All the fucking British people and the Canadians and the fucking Australians were like,
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you saw the face I made, but I was like, if Susie starts talking about server changes and stuff, I was like, my brain will literally
I don't know nothing about that.
Right
I don't know the first thing about that. I'm like, what do you mean server? Like the person who brings me my dinner? Like what are you talking about? So they were like, well, now that the Americans are gone, and I was like, they're like, tell us all the things you hate about Americans. I'm like, say it to my face, bitch. Like, what the fuck? You waited till we literally got yanked out of the app to talk shit? You cowards. I will say that with the exception of the British people will tell us to our fucking faces, but Canadians? I feel so betrayed. I was like, I had no idea. Like, I don't blame you, but why wait? Why wait? Just fucking say it.
I feel like Canadians probably perpetually as a country have middle child syndrome.
I mean, evidently they feel like, I'm not going to say it, redheaded stepchildren, evidently. Like, okay, well, don't be mad at us. This is my whole thing, is that if you are upset, okay, so they were like, it's our time to shine. It's our app now. We get to be the successful influencers. It's like, no one's fucking stopped you. No one has ever told you can't do that. No one has ever said like you can't fucking pop off. Like go.
Not to mention, there are a lot of successful Canadian TikTokers who all eventually moved to the United States.
They all live in LA right now.
Yeah.
But like whatever. Like no one has ever said like we are not the impediment to anyone else's success. I don't think. Or like they might say like maybe because like we are like so big in numbers like. Proportion maybe like but
I don't know a single account that's like all of the United States creators, you know what I mean? It's like they're individual people.
Exactly.
Just get a personality.
Great, now they're gonna come after you.
I'm just kidding.
But it's like when I really resent it when somebody like isn't successful and they blame somebody else who is successful for their lack of success. Like I even put like Mark Zuckerberg in that. Like, obviously Mark Zuckerberg is successful, but he blames Shou and TikTok for like whatever he's blaming Shou and TikTok for.
Yeah.
When it's like, but you could be making Facebook better. You could be making Instagram better. They suck. Those apps suck. For those 13, 14 hours, I was like, this is abysmal.
I made one video on Instagram, recorded it and edited it. I can't say that word. There's too many
edited it.
But it was infuriating.
Yeah.
It was infuriating. While recording it, if I made a mistake, I couldn't go back and delete it and just keep recording. I had to go out, go into editing, and then press delete, and then start all over again.
But that's what I'm saying. So instead of just blaming the person that's more successful than you, go out and get the success yourself. I mean,
it's a very American thing to do.
It really, like, I have had people in my life like that who are like, you know, I'm not as successful as you, and it's your fault. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's not me. It's you.
It is the American way. You know, that is what we're doing with China. Instead of doing what China did to make our economy stronger, we're just like, let's bully China.
Yeah, right. Like, have you seen what Chinese first and second graders are doing? They're bouncing basketballs two at a time. They are learning to knit and crochet. They are making their own food. They're like harvesting shit. Like these kids are like advanced. It's not because of them. It's because of us. And like to not take responsibility for your own like inaction or like failure or like whatever. That is such a fucking bullshit move. It's such a bullshit move. It's like, I have not stopped you from doing anything. I've been over here doing my own shit.
No, in fact, I'm going to keep this very short, but we should all know that America, we as a country, the imperialist country that we can be, instead of investing in our country, our people, our infrastructure, we have a habit of bullying other countries.
Smashing everything in our way.
And putting our noses in conflicts and stuff that we don't belong in just so we can control the outcome of that country to help them stay down, because once they stay down, that means that America stays up here. Well, China didn't take that approach. China has this approach called the Belt and Road Initiative, which is essentially a build off of the Silk Road.
What is happening? Where are we going with this?
Real quick. But what I'm trying to say is that like China they invested over the last couple of years, like so much money into building up 150 other countries. So their idea was like, if these countries are built up, then all of our economies can get stronger together. Literally the opposite approach of America.
Course.
So instead of being like, you know what, maybe we should do that because our politicians are too busy lining their pockets with money while they're in office, they only care about looking out for themselves, which is why we spend more money as a country on a yearly basis, but nothing is getting upgraded. The roads, infrastructure, education, all of that. So yeah, just, you know, thought you should know that. Yeah.
And I found that really funny. Like while the exodus was happening, from TikTok to like
Xiaohongshu.
Yeah. Are you over there?
Yeah. I haven't posted as much. I haven't been scrolling as much.
Well, this is what I found funny. What I found really funny was that while we were blacked out and not able to use TikTok, all of our supposed allies, our friends, the Canadians, the British, and the Australians, people who are supposed to be our fucking homies, like, oh, we're tight. All they did was talk shit about us while the Chinese, our sworn enemies, were like,
America's number one enemies.
Like, let us help you. Let us show you how to do this. Teach me this. Like, they have been so kind and welcoming and wonderful. And I'm like,
that's actually the funniest part about this.
That's crazy.
Is because the TikTok ban has been like the example that our country has been using to be like, look how bad China is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
To villainize them and things like that. And in doing so, what they accidentally did was there are so many Americans, especially older Americans, I think, who have bought into this China bad theory.
Xenophobic bullshit.
And they started to be like, I don't understand what's going on, but America has been lying to us. They're like, Chinese people are so welcoming. In fact, this like elder, I think he's a Gen X guy. He even like looked up and translated Xiaohongshu's terms of agreements.
They're like, don't be overly showy. Yep. Some people might not have as much as you. So make sure to be like thoughtful of how they might be feeling to see somebody else.
Don't show your wealth. Make sure that you're being considerate.
Also try to look as close to how you actually look. Don't try to doctor it too much because it gives people like bad filters. I'm like, this is wonderful. This is how we should all be living. Like, what the fuck? And I will tell you this too. I think Americans being able to see that China isn't this like militaristic, like backwards place. Their technology, their beauty, their like everything that they do there is like shiny and new and wonder. You know what I mean? Like very modern.
And this is the other thing too, is that we make it sound like, sure, I'm not saying China's perfect at all.
No, God, no.
For sure, censorship thing. There's things like that definitely need. There's no perfect government, but comparatively to ours, China does look a lot better.
They're looking sharp, guys. They're looking sharp.
Yeah.
And
but what I was trying to say was that the Chinese netizens, they were surprised.
Yes.
At how much they were like, what do you mean you have to work 2 jobs? Why do you have to work 2 jobs to be able to sustain a life? You can't. Your country doesn't allow you to afford a living.
Somebody made a comment that said, "Why do Americans eat like their healthcare is free?"
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
That one was funny.
No. Oh God, it's so true.
But what that made me realize was that China doesn't spend their time talking shit about America like our government pretends like they do. Because otherwise, Chinese people would all know this already.
Right.
But because the fact that it was all new to them meant that like China doesn't give a shit about us. They don't spend time bad mouthing us. They spend their time building up their people and everyone around them, because that's exactly the same thing. If you build up everyone around you in real life, we're all successful. There's no pie to take slices from. We can all bake our own pies.
Right. But I thought that was really interesting. And I think what's really like enlightened me is that like when I think of like China and I think of like Chinese like culture, like I imagine like the first thing I think of, and this is going to sound, I don't know if this is going to get me in trouble, but I think about like the Chinese like Olympic team. And I think of how regimented. Yes, very militant, regimented. Everything is on a clock. Everybody has the same haircut. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what I imagined communist China to look like. And to see like normal Chinese people who are just like, hey, Americans, it's really cool that you guys are here and we're really excited to like share our customs and culture with you and we're really excited to learn from you as well. I'm like, God, we really aren't that different. We really aren't that different. And their curiosity of us is so pure, I think, for so many of them. It's so pure. They're like, I've just never seen, I've had people comments in my comment section is like, oh, it's so interesting to see an Asian American speak the way that you do. You sound so American. I'm like, I am American. They're like, oh, but it's just to see it come out of your face is so interesting. And I'm like, oh, wow. And now I'm starting to see and hear like Chinese people are like, oh, we heard that you're the person that stands up for Asian people. We're so happy to have you. I'm like, oh my God, I am.
Wait, really?
That's so cool. Like, what?
I've been a little nervous to post on Xiaohongshu because like...
Don't be. It's so cool.
Well, just because like some of the stuff I post is like news and stuff. And I'm like nervous that that'll get me banned.
Be very careful with that. I'm treating it like this. I'm going into it as not as me. I'm going into it as a guest, and I'm making sure to edit the things that I say and do. And like I don't think I've even said like swear words on there, which is just such
You're not supposed to.
Right.
That's one of the community guidelines.
Right.
Yeah.
So I also don't see how like my content will translate to a homogenous society like China, where I talk about like racism and, microaggressions and things like that. Cause I don't know that they exist there the same. They don't exist there the same way they exist here. So I want to kind of approach it really slowly. And I want to learn from them before I like just jump in. I think a lot of Americans are not considering like this is their space. Like, let's be mindful of the space that they've cultivated and created for themselves before we just go in and fucking overhaul the whole thing. And maybe just take a step back, learn to see kind of what they do, how they do it, the ways that they, how to just be respectful. Like if you go into somebody else's home, you don't just plop down and act like you live there.
Some people do.
Some people do.
I have a story about that.
We're not going to talk about
today.
that.
No.
But that you want to be as respectful as possible. And I want to be there for the long run. I don't want them to be like, oh, so you guys just like used us and fucking bailed. Like, I don't want them to feel like that because I don't want to do that. I want to learn from them. I think it's been this like cultural exchange that I think has been like really, and now oddly enough, all the British people are over there too. They followed us over there. It's like, I thought you hated us. Why do you keep following us then if you hate us so fucking much?
I did hear that if America bans TikTok, UK might follow.
I know.
So
I heard Canada too, actually.
Yeah.
What a crazy thing. And
it's not that crazy.
I know.
We just invested $1.6 billion to talk shit about China worldwide.
Yeah.
And apparently it's working. But what could $1.6 billion do to save American lives though, right?
Well, man, you've been a real fucking downer today.
Sorry, this has been my life in my head for the last like 2-3 weeks.
Okay, well, I'm going through personal trauma. Can you just keep it light for a fucking second, you dick?
Okay,
shit.
sorry.
Every time I say something, he's like, oh, but you know what else? I'm like, tell me, Ed, what else? Now, I want you to go into a long story about how propaganda is ruining my life too. Go ahead, please, more. Go on.
But I have been learning a lot about communism.
I mean, shut up. Shut up, Ed. Not today. I can't take a conversation about communism today. Okay? I can't. But I, turns out, love Chinese people and they're so fun. And I have learned so many cool recipes. And I'm like, I want to try that. And if I see one American say that something that a Chinese person is cooking is gross, I'm going to go fucking off. I'm going to go off. I'm sure it's happened already, but I don't want to fucking see it.
I've only been posting like animal videos on there.
Like your animals?
Yeah, like Colts
like that
and
so
Archie. Because
much.
I'm like, I don't know what else to post right now.
I really love it.
I was like, would you guys get mad at me if I posted the fact checking about TikTok? I was like, because
will they let you do it?
I'm on your side. I was like, I don't know. So I didn't. I didn't.
Keep it light for a little while. Just for
so
a little
are you
while.
just making videos specifically for Xiaohongshu, or are you taking your videos and editing it for Xiaohongshu?
I have made one video specifically for that. And then I'm trying to remember. No, I want to create content exclusively for Xiaohongshu. I don't want to necessarily, I feel like this. I feel like every social media platform is so different that not everything works. Like when I'm not going to, number one, would never post on Facebook. Like I feel like, I know, like posting on like Blue Sky is so different than what I do on TikTok.
I posted on there. Did you post? I thought it was just words.
I think you can post videos too.
Oh, you can?
Yeah. But I can't I can't make videos right now because I'm so stupid.
Do you want to tell everyone?
Do you want to know what I did?
Did you tell TikTok yet?
No,
Because you can't. Sorry. I'm laughing with you.
So
she just did.
So I was like, my husband wanted to get new phones. Now we had gone through like the fucking blackout, and it was bad. It was annoying and like whatever. But we finally got TikTok back, and then yesterday, which was Monday,
2 days after the ban.
2 days after the ban was lifted, my husband was like, "Let's get
the blackout lifted. The ban's still in place,
right,
because you can't download it.
You cannot,
which is imperative to this story.
So my husband says, "Let's go get new phones because it's time because we've had our phones for quite some time." I was like, "Okay, cool."
No, but the other reasoning.
Well, my husband also thinks that because of the new administration, there are going to be tariffs on things like electronics and things like that. And so in order to avoid that, he's like, we're going to need new phones within probably the next year anyway. So let's just get ahead of it and do it now. So I was like,
save some money.
I was like, that makes sense. That's very sound advice. Good job, honey. So we go over to Verizon, and I am thinking, they're like, okay, so it's very easy. I've done it before. You just take your phone and then you just slap all that shit from that phone to this phone, and then you have all your shit. And it's like, cool, that's awesome. So I'm thinking like it's this like lateral thing from phone to phone, phone to phone. I didn't realize, because I don't know if most people realize, it goes from phone to app to new phone to app to new phone. And it goes in just this kind of circle. Well, the app doesn't exist anymore. So from my phone to the app to my phone didn't happen. Because you cannot newly download TikTok, which would be considered a new download. So I didn't realize it until way too late. Way too late. The guy had taken my old phone, wiped everything off of it, put it in what he called the coffin, which was just a manila envelope. And I'm sitting there like while all my apps are uploading, and you're seeing it like brighten up and like, it goes dark and the little click, 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 and then it comes up, and I'm like, okay, great. This is great. And I see TikTok, and I went, ding. I was like, oh, my TikTok's not opening. Think. And then it says, think TikTok is no longer available in your region. I was like, oh my God. So I just rebanned my own self.
So you just have a ghost of an app icon on your phone?
Yes.
Oh, I just assume it didn't even download. Yeah, because a lot of people assume you're just transferring data from one phone to the other. No, the apps have to go back and re-download from the app store.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
I didn't know that.
And the guy, the genius, didn't tell me that. Like, why didn't you tell me that first? I would have been like, no, wait. Don't do it. And he didn't tell me, like, why would you not? I mean, like, I'm so frustrated right now. So I basically don't have TikTok when everybody else has TikTok, and I cannot get TikTok, which is so ironic. And like, but it's okay. I'm figuring it out. I'm
not even laughing at you right now. I'm laughing at the fact that we're like complaining about TikTok and be like, it's whatever. But then we also were like mental connection to just saying, wait.
That's like been my whole life for 4.5 years. Like, of course it is. So yeah, that's fucking frustrating. I was like,
So yesterday I get a text from Susie, and she goes,
hey, buddy.
Do you have an extra iPhone I can buy off of you? And I was like, what happened? And she told me this story, and I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry.
Apparently you don't get it. So if you want to keep TikTok on your phone, don't get a new phone right now because you can't, or keep your old phone and don't trade it in because I don't know what to do. So now my mom, fortunately, who downloaded TikTok just because I had it, she's like, you can keep my phone.
That's so wholesome.
She's like, you keep my phone and then I'll get a new phone. No, she said, you can buy me a new phone. Yeah. I was like, okay, so I'm working on that, but I just spent $1,000 to get my mom a new phone just so I can have TikTok. And it's just like, that's not what I want. I was trying to save money, you guys, because life has been really hard for me.
What if they restore TikTok right after you buy?
That's what my sister said. She's like, I know you and I know your luck. The second that new phone is in mom's hands, it's going to be like, it's been left in. TikTok for everybody. But I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen because I know we don't want to talk about politics today, but Trump did say that he will only allow TikTok to be unbanned
If the United States government can own 50% of it, that doesn't feel right
either. And then he said that if that doesn't happen, then he's going to definitely put tariffs on China. So that was literally a threat. That's crazy. Welcome to America, 2025.
So make sure to follow me on Blue Sky. You can follow me.
I think that's how I'm approaching it too. Like I'm still using TikTok very carefully, you know, with warily. The word is escaping me right now. But either way, carefully using TikTok. But I think we should all readily start transferring. You know, you should start following the people that you like on other platforms for sure.
The thought of starting over is so daunting to me.
Oh my God. You say that and you're like, I just started Xiaohongshu and I have 60,000 followers. I'm like, it's
actually 90.
Ew.
I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying you don't like misinformation. I'm trying to fucking straighten you out, man.
I have 100. Nothing after it.
But people won't follow me to Blue Sky. It's weird.
They won't? Mm-mm. No one's using Blue Sky probably. That's why.
Do you think that's why? Where is everybody? That's the problem. Is where is it? Where are you guys going?
Xiaohongshu. Everyone went to Xiaohongshu.
But what if they ban it? They could easily ban that.
No, yeah. I don't think Xiaohongshu was like a longevity thing. I think it was like to the government thing. You know what I mean? Because it was
protest.
Yeah, I mean, people were literally making videos. They're like, "Oh, you're scared that China's going to steal our data? Here you go.
My username is my social security number."
Somebody was even like, "I will print out all of my." They're like, "If this goes dark, I will print out my shopping habits and mail it to China every day."
Dear Xi Jinping, today I went to Target and I picked up a candle, but I didn't buy it. Maybe you want to put an advertisement for that in my phone.
But if there was an advertisement here along the route, I probably would have. Right. Here is my shopping habits.
Right. Here are the things that inspire me to push add to cart.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like starting over to me is just like, what am I doing? Do I want to do that?
Yeah. And I feel like YouTube is the most stable place to go, but oh my God, the user interface on YouTube sucks. And why does uploading a video take 10 minutes? Why do I have to press upload and then leave my phone on YouTube
what I want to know
for
is
like 10
why
minutes?
Can't somebody come up with this similar technology to TikTok? Why is it so hard?
Also, like, is it impossible for us to like pool our money together and buy TikTok as citizens of the United States?
I mean, I got 5 on it.
I got 5 on that shit. I got 5 on it.
I could easily do that.
I mean, think about it. We can just harness our followers, get like all 107. Okay, let's just say 10%. So like 17 million people. If we all just donated $10,
still not enough.
We all donated $100. That's $1 billion. Let's do it.
Is that something that we can do? But Donald Trump said no. He said the only term is if the government can own 50%. He didn't say if the public. You know what I mean? He doesn't want that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the last thing he wants.
I forgot that add-on recently.
And then we'd have to be in. You know, I think this is what I think. I think it's done. I think TikTok is done. As sad as it is to say. So I'm going to spend the next, 75 days, they said?
I thought he extended it 90 days.
No, I think it's 75. It's a random arbitrary number. I'm going to spend the next 75 days just, calling on my community and saying like, let's figure out an action plan. Let's go. Let's migrate.
Okay, wait. I got it.
Okay.
Let's pool $5 each between the 17 million people.
Okay.
The 10% of US TikTok
and just start our own app.
And start our own and hire all of TikTok's engineers to recreate TikTok, but under an American company that one of us will run together as, not one of us, I just meant one of the TikTokers will run as like a conglomerate company.
Sounds like so much work.
Fuck it, I'll do it. Venmo me $5. I mean, realistically, we just need enough. How many engineers do you think it'll take? How many engineers does TikTok have? Like 200? Let's say they each get paid $200,000. We just need like 40 million people to donate $1 and we can have years worth to start up our own TikTok. Fuck. Right?
I mean, if it were that easy, somebody would have done it by now.
Did no one think of it?
I'm sure they did. We're not that smart. We're not smart at all. Look at us just sitting on my couch talking about what the fuck we're going to do. We're stupid.
Hey. I did single-handedly fact check everything about the TikTok fans. So speak for yourself, okay? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm stupid.
Kidding. No. I literally call you for advice. So.
All right. I have to get to my life.
But on that note.
Look at how good you did such good work on your thingy. Good
skinning
job.
It down to the
Nub.
muscle.
Yuck.
I raised to crazy.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Put the lotion on it. But thank you so much for joining us. We love spending this time with you. Let's just hope in the next 2 weeks the world doesn't burn more.
I don't know how much more I can take. I mean, like literally,
really
I've never
bad,
said,
sorry.
like, I was going to say the world actually is burning.
Yeah,
it's on fire.
I didn't mean that. Sorry, that was very insensitive. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, we have to laugh. If we don't laugh, we'll cry.
It's just a figure of speech. I'm sorry. My synapses didn't connect before my mouth said it.
That's funny.
But yeah, hopefully more God, I don't want to say the word disaster either. Jesus Christ. Hopefully
shit gets not so bad.
Yeah.
Things get less worse than they are right now.
Words. Bye.
Bye.
We think this is funny. What if people are like, and I hate when they fall apart? Okay, either way, thank you for joining us on another episode of WhatintheShibal. Make sure you follow us on our socials where I don't even know what to say for that.
You can find me at TikTok, Instagram for now, Blue Sky, Lemonade for now, Xiaohongshu for now, YouTube, I think. What else?
Definitely not Twitter.
No, I've never been on X or Twitter. You won't find me on Facebook either. So yeah, I mean, I'll go where you go. How about that?
Yeah.
You go there, and if I see you there, I'll go there.
Please tell us where to go.
I don't know where to go either.
Yeah, like for instance, Twitch reached out to me.
What's that?
You know that game streaming app where it's like all live streams?
Games?
Yeah. They were like,
you don't play games, do you?
They apparently have this like live TV streaming thing, and they were like, we would love for you to bring our content over there. I was like, I don't know how. I was like, most of my stuff is like news and politics, which happens like I read about it or hear about it and I make a video that day. I was like, live streams, you have to be like, hey, tomorrow at 2. And I was like, I don't know how to connect those dots. So if anyone, you guys
should I just start playing games?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Do that.
Should we just start playing games?
Sure.
Also, moving
Mario
forward,
Brothers?
starting from the next episode.
You don't get my leg. Remember Kung Fu? Yeah.
I can already tell. Susie's a one-button hitter.
Really fast. Up, down, down, left, right.
But remember we're going to go back to ending the episode, but remember a while back when we were talking about possibly like watching a show together and watching it with you guys?
Yes, let's do that.
We've decided on one. Singles Inferno on Netflix. So next time.
I don't know what that show is, but I heard it's funny. Is it funny? Is it comedy?
No, it's a dating show.
Oh. No idea. I don't watch TV.
It's a reality dating show in Korea. And,
okay.
Yeah. It's actually
why did I think it was an American
done.
show? It's
It's Korean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it is kind of very interesting to see just how different, because you know how dating shows in America are.
It's really gross.
It is not like that. It's like so much. I mean, sure, they get topless and stuff because they're like on a tropical island.
I mean, sure.
Not topless.
Obviously.
I just mean like they're like in their swim trunks and stuff. But I just mean like, but even then they're like wholesome and respectful for the most part. And it is a very interesting show to watch. But either way,
how many episodes are there?
Maybe like 10 to 12, but they're doing it on a week by week basis.
Oh, okay.
So there's only the first episode right now. The second episode will drop this week. So by the next time we record this episode, we'll probably be like on the 4th episode.
Okay.
but it's a 1 week an episode thing, so it's not a huge commitment.
So okay, we'll talk about this off
Yeah.
camera, but we'll figure that out.
But it's
I'm
gonna
excited.
be great.
No, that'll
So
be fun.
watch Singles Inferno with us, and we'll definitely catch you on the next one. I don't know where I'm gonna be at. I'm at Etch a Sketch. Just look up Etch a Sketch somewhere, probably there. But definitely let us know where you're at. This guy's still at Archie and Cole on Instagram. Otherwise, WhatintheShibal. I guess we're only on TikTok and Instagram right now, and YouTube. But we'll figure that out as well. Just let us know. Definitely make sure you keep writing us because we definitely love talking to you. WhatintheShibal, SHIBAL@gmail.com. Otherwise, if you're listening to this podcast, know there is a video version available on YouTube. If you're already on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell.
Ding.
Otherwise, thank you for joining us, and we will see you on the next one.
Okay. Bye.